Welcome back to State of Decay 2 and the Lethal Zone, the Heart Attack update, the Commune. We are all of these things. We are also being pursued by an infestation. There's a horde over here. Luckily, it's not an infestation horde, but this siege infestation has been building up for a while. I'm trying to kill the plague heart that I think is the source of it. I can't actually prove that that plague heart is the source of it, but it probably is. I've already done some damage to it last episode, and so my goal right now is to get out there and hopefully finish it off. And I need some gasoline in order to do that. So we will grab some. And wait a minute, why do I got a random suppressor in my inventory? Dang it. So what I did was I had a bad suppressor on my pistol. Oh, I need to repair this thing too. I had a bad suppressor on my pistol, and I wanted to swap it for a good suppressor. So I found the good suppressor in the supply locker, swapped it from the supply locker. But when I swapped it, they put the bad suppressor, the whatever improvised suppressor, in my inventory instead of in the supply locker. That's not how that should go. But whatever. I don't think I've got a toolkit in here, so let's see if we can manufacture one real quick, because we need a door. I'm not going out there facing a bunch of ferals without a door. So I can make one of these, just one, but that's all I need. Bang.
Damn, too loud.
Let's see here. So, Tudos Sobrega Games asks, can you explain the mechanics behind the radio tower unique command? What he's talking about is the, where are they? Like, if you grab one of the, I think, is this, one of these, a cell tower, as an outpost, it's got a command that basically suppresses plague hearts so that they don't notice you. And as I understand it, so I haven't really used this and I wasn't involved in developing it, so I can't promise you that I know exactly how it works. But as I understand it, when you trigger the sort of plague heart suppression effect from that outpost, it applies to the holy crap. It applies to the entire map, so it doesn't like have a limited area effect or anything like that. The entire map gets affected by it, and so I don't know if I don't think it completely prevents him from awakening. I think if you get really crazy and you start fight one entire plague heart and all of its defenders right next to another plague heart, you will probably wake up that other plague heart. I'm guessing from the way people have described it to me. So it doesn't 100% block it, I don't think, but I think it does seriously reduce it, and you can do a lot of damage. That's how I understand it. However, people in the chat might know better than me. So I don't know if Coalition or Ranithcord or anybody else wants to add to that, because there's a decent chance that I don't know exactly what I'm talking about, because I haven't actually done it myself. All I've done is listen to other people talk about it. Okay, so... Oh, what the? Just instantly? Come on. Come on. Okay, fine. Whatever. Oh, what? I got tackled again? Come on, I'm just trying to... Run away is what I'm trying to do. Alright, alright. No! No! That is what killed Rue right there. The fact that when I'm trying to hit the A button to jump, it does an A attack instead. Oh, that is super obnoxious. Okay, we did a little bit of damage. Seriously though, I just don't think that should ever happen. I'm already almost like dying of blood plague. So we're going back home. That was a very short trip. We did not defeat the plague heart, though we did damage it a little bit. Hopefully I can go back home, heal up, try again. before I end up getting sieged. That's the thing. I just don't know if I can handle a siege in the lethal zone. And so I'd like to avoid it if I possibly can. Okay, we'll get back home safe. I'll glance over at the chat and see what you all are saying. Luckily, the car is actually in better shape than I expected it to be, and that's good. Ranithcord says, whose idea was it to assign so many actions to the same button? So, personally, I'm not a huge fan of assigning attack buttons contextually to buttons that are supposed to do navigation actions. That's a weird thing that I'm not a huge fan of. But, you know, whatever, it's fine. I'm not super mad. What am I doing? What I actually want to do is... What am I... here. Infection therapy. And emergency medicine. So I don't have that many meds, but that gets my character back in fighting shape again. And hopefully all I needed to do was just have a second where I was not actually being eaten by a feral. That's all I needed to take out this plague heart. Because I'm pretty sure it's really low. I think I've gotten through at least half of its health. Orathaus points out that when sieges happen, you can actually intercept them. Oh, look, okay, we're at level 3 now. We're about to get level 3. I'm wondering if it might make sense for me to try to go and burn out that infestation, rather than going for the plague heart. Should I go for the infestation instead? The question is, how easily can I take out the screamers? Like, if I can just throw one firebomb in there and hit all 3 screamers, that'll be just one and done. It'll be really easy. But if it ends up being a big fight, then it's just as dangerous to me as the plague heart. Coalition is recommending the heart, I think, from the zillion heart emojis that he just threw at me. Oh, and here's another infestation horde, which I'm just not going to deal with. Okay, so let's point this guy at an exit. And let's try this crap again. Get off! Nope. No, stop! Stop doing that attack! I'm just trying to jump out a freaking window. Oh, did that just bounce off the guy? Okay, sort of, whatever. I'm running the wrong way because I forgot where I parked. Okay, hold on. No, no! Oh gosh, stop it. Okay, you guys coming up here? All right, can I? Oh, I can hit the plague heart. There we go. All right, so now I just need to get into my car. And now the question is, was that plague heart actually the plague heart that was running that infestation? I don't know. Yes! Okay, that infestation is now withering. We have saved ourselves from a siege. So I don't even need to fight that infestation. It's going to go down on its own. It's not going to launch a siege at me. So I'm just going to try to drive into this sort of safer zone over here. I'm not going back to that plague heart for a bit. There's another plague heart nearby that is also awake, that is also going to be trying to siege me. So I do need to keep working on plague hearts. But... whew! Okay, we've actually accomplished something and we survived. So, let's go in here. And, you know, because I wasn't able to search the plague heart, I will do that later. But because I wasn't able to search the plague heart on that trip, I feel like I need to at least get something out of this trip. So let's search this outpost. Oh, good. I've been wanting more ammo because I've been very constrained. Oh, man, my gas is getting really low. The Mad Norma, not very efficient with gas. Maybe I should be thinking about that from now on, because I'm in the lethal zone and gas depletes faster. So, La Coalición, of course, is running a poll. He says, zombie apocalypse has started. Who do you take refuge with? The Amish, preppers, the National Guard, or firefighters? I am definitely going Amish. I have a lot of respect for the Amish people. They are among the folks who are going to be able to... Because, you know, we all have kind of an equally sketchy chance of surviving the actual moment of the apocalypse itself. But when it comes to rebuilding and trying to survive long-term, I think the Amish have got a massive edge on the rest of us because they actually know how to do a lot of things that most of us have forgotten. Oh, Orathaus is reminding me that I can get a character with the driving skill if I want my my gas mileage to go a little further. That does make sense, though. I mean... The whole idea of getting a character at all is actually a little questionable for me. Like, am I actually going to be able to recruit somebody? Most of the things you do to recruit people are costly or dangerous, and I don't know about my own capabilities in that zone. So let's... Oh, okay. There's a few like sheds that I haven't searched and things around here, so I think I want to... Yeah, I want to poke around a little bit more, come home with some resources. And hopefully not get murdered, because this is a well-defended place. I've got a lot of little outposts out here. Oh, Orathaus is reminding me that I can summon people from my legacy pool. That's true. Though for this game, I would probably specifically summon people that I don't remember and that I don't have a strong investment in. Oh, no. Why did I do that? Well, let's see what happens. Am I full up now? I think I am. Oh, perfect. Rucksack. Alright, I think I might have lucked out and nothing spawned. Probably because I'm in a massive overlapping safe zone. So we'll just drop off. Oh, actually, that could just go into the tank. Drop off all the crap I don't need. And let's drop that off. And refuel. La Coalición is reminding me to manufacture meds while I loot in the infirmary. Let's remind myself what that looks like. So, what does manufacturing meds take? Is that here? Oh, I need a bunch of parts, but I've got ethanol and chemicals. I do have plenty of. So, yeah, I'll need to go home. Actually, no, I can mulch things for parts here. Oh, and actually, what am I doing? This place is... Why am I filling my trunk with anything besides rucksacks? This place is literally full of outposts. I can just drop this same stuff off at outposts. So we'll drop this off, and then do I have dupes of anything? Yes, I've got a couple cutting machine blades, so we'll salvage that, and that should actually give me enough right now to manufacture the meds. Not there. It uses the same icon, but it's there. So am I just going to get one meds out of that? I mean, sure, whatever.
Careful, Juggernaut.
Juggernaut? Oh, and there's a feral over there. Let's keep an eye on the feral. Yeah, these places don't have any guarantees, but since this is sort of my safe area, it feels like it's still worthwhile to just see what's in there. I mean, you know, it's not going to be probably the best stuff, but it'll be something. Once we've wiped this place out, we'll head home.
Locked up tight. Off starting a trend.
So Coalition points out that apparently I would have been able to make more meds if I hadn't gotten my chemist killed. Is that what Rue did? I forgot what my I forgot what my dead characters did. All right.
From what we can put together, the outbreak wasn't a singular event. It was actually
Orthaus asks if I have a furnace. I don't think I do. I don't think I've got that mod. We were talking about me maybe trying to pick one up earlier, and because I didn't have one in the last episode. Maybe there's a better outpost I could be going to that doesn't require me to go upstairs. Okay, I'm hearing like horde sounds. Oh yeah, there's a horde going down the street now. Why? Also, this infestation is going to start spawning again. It might be able to make another siege horde or whatever, another siege infestation. So I'm going to need to be hyper cautious about that. Okay. That feral is weirdly close. I've got a whole horde of these guys. This is going to be a good reason for me to search quietly. I think I'll be pretty far away from that feral, but still. So Apocalypse Horror says, so the outposts are more of your defense? Yeah, so outposts have a couple of advantages. One is that you can actually plant mines around them now, which is a brand new thing, and that will kill zombies in the immediate vicinity. So that's a reason to value them. But also they have these safe zones around them where zombies can't spawn. Now zombies can wander into them, so you can have zombies spawn nearby and then end up inside. But compared to being outside the safe zone, where zombies could literally spawn just anywhere, having a safe zone inhibiting spawning is pretty helpful because it means I can sort of sneak around like this and not run into a zombie around every corner. Okay, so that place is cleared out. And so I don't know how much stuff to expect to find at the coffee shack, the Dirty Bird coffee shack.
No room.
Yeah, okay. Let me leave that. Oh, wait a minute. I can go drop things off at the Tartan Mart. So that, and that, and that, and that, and that will all go away. Okay, that sounds real close. Apocalypse Horror says, so even the specials don't spawn in the safe zone. In theory, I have to also say our spawning rules are kind of sketchy. Like, they've always been a little bit weird and unpredictable, and so it's hard to say absolutely that any particular thing is happening. Because, you know, it seems like sometimes the game just does whatever in the heck it wants. And there's not a lot that you can really predict. But theoretically, our intent was for zombies and freaks not to spawn within safe zones. No, Coalition, I have not yet researched how to change the color of my guide button on my Xbox controller. Coalition sent me instructions about that. Oh crap, an infesting horde is on the move. That just showed up. Actually, this might be a better spot for my face, because it's not like I'm paying any attention to quests. I'm not paying any attention to bounties. So there's no particular reason why you would need to see my upper right corner. But you might want to see my infestation notifications. So I guess Yeah, so if I back up and go to this other house, I can probably grab a few more things before I head home. So let's do that. Let's go to this house. And fast search, because we're an idiot.
Again.
Oh, wait. That seems like it was important. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm stuck on the furniture. That was weird.
This could be a big help to us.
Okay. I don't actually... What was this note about? Okay, whatever. Drop it. Computer's textbook seems valuable. I can just use the meds right now. And... Oh, what's this? More medicine?
We're done here.
Chemicals. I mean, I'm never going to use those anyway, right? So I've gotten everything, but I think there's one room I haven't entered yet.
I'm declaring this location Zed-free.
Okay, looks like we're done here. Or that's the saying, drop the firecracker. You're right, that probably would have been the better move. It is even less useful in the lethal zone than a consumable, I always forget. But, yeah, whatever. Okay, so this guy. I don't know where he's going to settle, but he might turn into a siege horde. So, we're just going to see if I can take out at least the screamer. Oh, no, wait, it's full of bloaters. I forgot they're full of bloaters. Oh, crap. Okay, but you can tempt the bloaters to kill themselves. Oh no, oh no! I'm Austin Powers into this spot. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I killed that one screamer, but it looks like the hordes... I couldn't remember what the rules were, because I know that an infestation now goes away if you kill the screamer. I think that a horde still remains a horde, though, even without the screamer. At least until they get down to like 1 or 2 zombies and they stop being a coherent horde anymore. There we go. Oh, crap! That set off... Of course I'm near a plague heart. Oh, that was an idiotic move. I forgot. Yeah. Because when I initially saw them, they were in this area that was not near a plague heart. But they were near a plague heart when I actually killed them, when they turned down that street. Now, it said it stirs, but it's still asleep. Good. So we've only got the one plague heart that's still awake. So, net positive, killing that horde. Would have been a net negative if I'd woken a new heart in the process. So, Rochambeau asks, why are there still plague freaks after all the plague hearts have been destroyed on a map? So that is, let's see, yeah, Lockenstein says game engine constraints, and it is something along those lines, that basically, because of our resource limits, we can only have a certain, hold a certain amount of stuff about the game in memory at once, and I know, by the way, there is a feral chasing me, hopefully he stops, and because of that, we can only have one version of each freak loaded at a time. So, if we have, and we set that, we don't just sort of, we don't vary that just mid-game. There we go. I just wanted to kill that guy. Like, it's, oh crap, no, there's a juggernaut coming. I'm just going inside now. Bye. But yeah, so basically for any given map in any given difficulty, we just decide in advance when the map is loaded which freaks are there. Oh, crap. Yes, please keep shooting that guy. Okay. Everybody shoot the Juggernaut, please. Oh, except you. I guess you just go and hit the Juggernaut with your axe? Sure, whatever. We've got like a whole horde coming after us now. We might as well have caused a siege. Okay, I'd like to drop off some of the garbage in my inventory real quick. You guys watch my back. There we go. Now I can pick up plague samples. So yeah, so when we're first loading the map, basically, we kind of determine which freaks are going to be available. And so if you're playing on a difficulty level where it's plague freaks, then we load plague freaks. If you're playing on a difficulty level where it's regular freaks, we load regular freaks. We can't switch them up. You've never seen a plague feral and a regular feral together at the same time on the same map, because that just doesn't happen. And so that means that, you know, you clear out all the plague hearts. Okay, good. I just wanted to kill those guys before they went inside and messed up all my folks. But yeah, so that's why. So basically, you finish all the plague hearts on a map, and can I think I can. Yes. You finish off all the plague hearts in the map, and technically, and all of the regular blood plague zombies go away, but we've still loaded the same set of freaks that we've always loaded. And so you're still playing at the same difficulty level. All those settings are still the same, and so when we load up your game, we load up the plague freaks and not the regular freaks, and we can't just switch to them midstream. So Coalition asks, oh wait, see here. Oh, Wrathcord says, how is it that regular bloaters have started appearing on lethal if they can't be supported? Okay, so, yeah, so when I say that we can't load them at the same time, it's not that we physically can't, it's that we made rules for ourselves so that we wouldn't get into a danger zone where you might have memory crashes. And so we made a bunch of rules that are like self-enforced because if we did load them, we would start to get into a danger zone where, you know, you could run out of memory and the game would crash. And so we try to fall way short of that by making a bunch of rules like that for ourselves. And actually, our audio team they were always the most religious about like sticking to their budgets, and they were often the driving force behind a lot of our, you know, just really rigid sticking to those rules. And those rules are really helpful because they keep us from a lot of, because, you know, when you have a memory crash because you ran out of memory, it could be and kind of was caused by 100 different things. You've got tons of different things loaded in memory at once, and which one is the thing that caused the problem? I mean, it's all of them. It's everything, right? And so trying to prevent those things from happening, you have to enforce a lot of rigid rules on yourself to keep from overdoing it. And so they stuck to those rules really strongly, and that led to us making those very solid rules about the freaks. But that doesn't mean that if we make a mistake, it's not possible for an extra freak type to sneak in. And so it's technically possible for there to be a regular bloater and a plague bloater in the same level because of a bug. But when that happens, you know, it doesn't mean that, like, it's not like that was physically impossible. It's just that now you're in a more dangerous zone where you're eating up more memory than you normally would. And if the wrong confluence of events happens at that stage, you could end up with a crash. And so we don't let it happen because we want to stay in a safety zone where nobody is having memory crashes. Instead, you know, you add a bloater into the mix, and now suddenly 1.5% of people end up with memory crashes or something like that. You know, it's not like it'll suddenly break the game for everyone, but it becomes risky. And we want to stay in a zone where we're not risking, you know, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people having a bunch of crashes because of bad circumstances. So I think that now, having survived that random attack on my base and having a new objective, which is to take out that last waking plague heart, which when I fight this thing, I don't know if it overlaps with this. Like, this one might also wake up. Seems like a big deal and something that I should probably save for another episode. So let me catch up with the chat a little bit more, and then I will probably wrap this episode and start a new one. We're still going to keep playing here live on Twitch, but if you're watching on YouTube, we're getting close to the end of the video. So La Coalition says, you know what I regret not asking the audio team of State of Decay 2, which we had them on fairly recently for, Q&A stuff, about how they came up with the audio stories in the background, like the dogs barking or a guy screaming, "Get away from me," followed by automatic fire. They did a fantastic job. They give a tense atmosphere. I agree. Yeah, I mean, I wish I could answer that question for them, but of course I can't because it was their job. But yeah, that was actually one of the more fun things to experience, like as the game was first sort of really all the pieces were starting to come together, was noticing those things coming in for the first time. One of my favorite things that the audio team added to State of Decay 2 was the mysterious thumping and growling that's inside some of the trailers that you can find. If you find a trailer, like a pull trailer that goes behind a car, occasionally one of them will have a bunch of zombie thumping sounds inside of it, which is pretty fun because there's not a zombie in there. You can't get them out. You can't fight them, but it just sort of freaks you out to pass by one of those trailers. So yeah, Lockensee says, yeah, the stranded Zeds crack me up every time. Rochambeau says, I always liked the audio event with tires squealing and a crash. You know what? I'm gonna quickly screenshot. I'm gonna screenshot my chat here and save it so I can send it to the audio team. So just give me 1 second, because I want them to be able to see all these comments. Oh, and Awesome Twitch Dude called out also the zombie trapped upstairs in the hospital. So I'm glad that you all have been noticing these things. That's really cool. Cog says, State of Decay 2 still has to support the regular Xbox One, right? Thus the limits on memory, etc. I get the feeling that many people forget the legacy support. Yeah, that is a really good point, Cogs. The fact that, so basically, my daughter Phoebe just had a really good sort of first year of high school, and we promised her that if she kept her GPA above 3.0 and had no C's, that she could have one of her older Xboxes in her room. She plays Xbox games all the time with her friends, and she succeeded. And so we just actually set up our first original Xbox One in my daughter's room, and she said one of the first things she said that she wanted was to download State of Decay 2. And so I got State of Decay 2 for her, and that was I was very touched that she wanted to play it. But that highlights the issue they have to deal with. Even though a lot of folks out there are playing State of Decay 2 on high-end PCs or an Xbox Series X, and they sort of have got their expectations set at that level, this game, there's a lot of people out there playing on lower-end, min-spec PCs, and also who are playing the game on original Xbox One hardware, like my daughter. And for those folks, we don't want the game to suddenly start sucking for those people. And so there's just limits to how much we can do to sort of, take full advantage of the latest hardware, because we don't want to just leave those players out in the cold. They make up a significant percentage of our audience. And so there's some players well, can't you just, raise the frame rate or something like that on the higher end stuff? We can raise the resolution. Usually resolution is something that, you switch to new hardware and you can, play on like a 4K screen now where you couldn't play on that before. That's fine. Frame rate is a little bit more questionable. Resolution is pretty much entirely about the GPU, but frame rate really varies from game to game. Some games are GPU bound, which means it's sort of the bottleneck, the thing that is taking the most time when you're sort of putting together a frame. Every 30th or 60th of a second, you're putting together a frame. Some games, it's the graphics that are taking up the most time, that are struggling to fit all of that computing work that they have to do into that 30th or into that 60th of a second. And if you're GPU bound, then you suddenly get a more powerful GPU. You can usually, if your GPU is now twice as powerful, you can probably run it at twice the frame rate because you can do twice as much during the time of that frame. But a lot of games are not. State of Decay 2 tends to be CPU bound, which means it's not the graphics calculations that are taking a long time. It's the CPU calculations. It's keeping track of all of those zombies and all of those human characters, all the behaviors they're capable of, making a million decisions at once about what they can do, and maintaining a bunch of other simulation things. Just there's a lot going on in every single frame of State of Decay 2 that has nothing to do with the graphics. And so because of that, you can get a system with a more powerful GPU, and State of Decay 2 still isn't going to be able to just instantly run at a higher frame rate because it's not the GPU that matters. It's something else, So frame rate, people often have a very simplistic view of frame rate that it's just one simple quick fix will just like increase your frame rate, and that's just not how it works at all. It's very, very complex under the hood, and I probably even described it wrong just now because I'm not a technical person. I just hear programmers talking and I pick things up from them, but I'm not one of the people whose career it is to solve these kinds of problems, so I might have even described some of that wrong. But yeah, so anyway, the point is, you can't always do everything you want to do with higher-end hardware for a lot of different reasons. And State of Decay 2, in some ways, was able to really benefit from playing on an Xbox Series X, and in some other ways, less so. But, that's a reason to make sequels, so that you can take full advantage of modern hardware. Commsbolt wants to know, why doesn't the game allow you to select new boons when finishing a map and moving on to another one? We're stuck with the ones we got on the first start. Entirely because we just never got around to it. That absolutely would be good if we could do that. And it's been on lists before of features that we wanted to add as a part of one update or another. And it just, other things ended up being more important at each of those points, and it just never got into the game. So it was not a design decision we made. Like, we think you should be locked into this. In fact, many times we've said as a team, we think you should not. We think that, especially with Forever communities, in fact, this was definitely on the list that it fell off the end of the list of the Forever communities update, where, if people are earning legacies and then moving on with the same community, one of the first things they want to do is kick in their new legacy immediately. And the fact that we don't let you do that is just, I wish that we could have, but it's one of those things where if we had done that, we would have had to leave off something else from that update. Cause things take time. That would have been a whole new UI flow, when you're changing maps. And so, we weren't able to fit it in with everything else. So I'm sure it's on somebody's list somewhere, but we haven't gotten around to it. So sorry, Commsbolt, because I know that would be a good feature. There's no design reason not to do it. We just haven't done it yet. So if that's on the wish list somewhere, go and vote it up, because I think people should see that the audience wants to have that feature. Awesome Twitch dude. Yeah, I think Sunny Games is already he sent me a message telling me he's going to be he clipped a quote of mine to put in his next video, and I'm like kind of nervous. I hope that I didn't say anything incredibly stupid in that clip. So don't threaten me with Sunny Games videos, okay? That guy's great. I really love his videos. No criticism of him. I just get really nervous whenever anybody is going to be quoting me. And I really do appreciate him giving me a heads up so that I knew something was coming and I could pay attention to it when it lands. Because, you say the wrong thing on the internet, it can get you in really big trouble. And I don't think I have said anything. I do try to be really careful what I say on my stream, and especially on the official streams. But, you can always say something that could be misconstrued or whatever, misunderstood by people, and you want to be really careful. Like, I remember that one time we referred to our strategy with State of Decay 2 as games as a service, and there was like this whole segment of the internet that just exploded all over us because we were using that term the way that industry insiders use that term, which is, it recovers a huge broad swath of things, including just any support of a game after release, any continued investment in content in a game steadily over time for its existing players. That's, that falls under the umbrella of games as a service as developers talk about it. But there is a subset of the internet where games as a service is this like really horrific watchword for exploitative practices by game developers and publishers. And so when we said that about our game, they thought we were promising to be really exploitative and terrible. And I think that time has shown that that is not what we meant. We have just been updating this game steadily over time without asking for any money, banking on the idea that keeping this franchise strong and well supported and building our reputation as a studio will pay off on its own without us needing to nickel and dime you with a lot of like tiny purchases or something like that. And that's, that's a theory that we have that so far has been paying off for us. That and the fact that, this game is also on Game Pass, and Game Pass is run by our parent company. That's also a factor that lets us keep going. But we didn't do the thing they thought we were saying we were doing because of a miscommunication, because it's just we were using the jargon differently. And so at the time they were like, sure you didn't mean that. But I think we've proven that we didn't mean the thing that they thought that we meant. But that's how words, like people assign this like extra value to words sometimes, or they act like a word just only can ever mean one thing. And if somebody says a word and means it in a way you didn't mean, they're actually secretly revealing their secret intent because they use the word. And that's just not how it works. Lacazette says, are you really trying to say that the internet misinterprets things and overreacts? Gasp. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Ari, has his video already come out? I haven't actually been watching my YouTube feed, so I didn't know. Ari is acting like they've already seen Sunny's video. If that's the case, and if Ari is not worried about what I said, then I will also not worry about what I said, but I will also go and watch that video to find out what I said at some point. Anyway, we should wrap this up. So there's a subscribe button and all of the usual links. And we're not done yet, though. If you're watching me live on Twitch, we're going to make another episode where I'm going to try to kill another plague heart and hopefully get everybody to sleep again. It's like my kids.